Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're gonna be speaking about Abdullah Mason and Albert Bell's media workout that took place earlier today. We definitely gonna react to that. We also gonna be speaking about the bad habits that could get Albert Bell slept on July 4th. But before we get into that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in. That'll be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,600 mark. Looking to crack that 3,700 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Shout out to everybody that's in the building contributing to the chat. Big shout out. Big thank you to everybody that's been sending the super chats, man. It definitely goes a long way for the channel. We definitely got some things in motion. Just had some conversations earlier. And this right here should definitely take the channel to the next level, man. So I appreciate the patience. I appreciate everybody that sees the potential in the channel and everybody that's been putting a lot of stock into it, man. Thank you very much. Shout out to Bam the Boxer. You gotta tell me a little bit more about yourself, brother. I see that you an amateur, man. You gotta let me know what's up, man. What's up with Bam the Boxer? Where you from, champ? Jay, what up? What's going on? What's going on? Tay Walter, what up? He said, put the fight on. What you mean by that, brother? Let me know what you're talking about. Chris Maldonado, talk to me, man. What's up? What's up? How we feeling today? What's going on? Justin Jackson, what up? He said, we here. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. He said, let's see if Bell cuts that beard. Yeah, I mean, it's a different state athletic commission, so maybe they have different rules, but, you know, if Abdullah don't feel like that, you know, that's a safety hazard or whatever the case is, then Albert Bell might be entitled to trim that beard. But, you know, I don't even care. I don't even know why. Like, I know it was blown out of proportion with the Jerron Ennis and Xander Zayas fight. But I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, y'all motherfuckers be worried about the wrong shit, bro. Like, we over here really talking about somebody's beard. Like, the fuck? Like, what the fuck is we even talking about for real? Shit is disgusting. I ain't gonna lie to you. Where the studio, I can't really speak on that right now, brother. But I'm gonna let y'all know in the group chat what I'm working on. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to the nation, shout out to the mob. What up? What up? How we feeling, man? Today was hot than a bitch. I don't know where y'all was at in the world, but if y'all was in Philadelphia, man, yo, this heat is different. And tomorrow is supposed to be 104 fucking degrees. Insane. Ain't no way, bro. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be in the gym. Like, y'all gotta understand, like, Pivot Boxing Academy usually be like 10 degrees hotter than what it is outside. Bro, I'm not taking that risk with having fighters training in 110 plus degree, you know, conditions, bro. Sparring on top of that, like, this shit is ridiculous. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. Yo, that's crazy. You've been around for a minute. Z, you've been around for a minute because this is the OG panel look. That definitely is. You know what I'm saying? I was looking through. I noticed I keep having. I try to switch up the panels here and there, and I got a whole bunch of different ones. Like, let me see this one right here, and then I ended up running into it. I was like, you know what? Let me use this one. So yeah, that's a great observation. That's how I know you've been here for a while. It's this one. It's this one. You know what I'm saying? You got the different ones. That's the OG Mazuma boxing logo right there. I don't even use that logo anymore. So yeah, man. Yeah, that's definitely the OG look. Great observation, brother. We out with the old and with the new though. But yeah, man. Yo, listen, man. I'm very excited for Abdullah Mason's homecoming. Him, you know, fighting in Cleveland, Ohio, along with his brothers who are, you know, building their careers as well. You know, initially he was supposed to fight Joe Cordina, but Joe Cordina had visa issues. You know, he had a little incident back where he was from. Looked like self-defense to me because, you know, it's on video, which may be very fortunate for him. But regardless, you know, when you got some legal things going on, they don't really want to take that risk and bring you over here. So it's an unfortunate situation for Joe Cordina because that would have been a great fight with him and Abdullah. You know what I'm saying? Joe Cordina is dangerous in his own right. Meanwhile, Albert Bell was setting himself up to be a part of an IBF title eliminator in the lightweight division against Andy Cruz. I had the pleasure of working, you know, helping out Andy Cruz. You know, we only did one round, you know what I'm saying, because Andy Cruz turned out to be a lot bigger than I thought, and they just swapped us out. But that one round, we helped contribute in some way. You know what I'm saying? I had the pleasure of contributing to, Andy Cruz sparring in the lead up to that fight. But unfortunately, Andy Cruz has to sit back and wait and see exactly who's gonna be presented for him to fight, in that IBF final title eliminator. Because Albert Bell went ahead and he took on a bigger opportunity. I've seen some people criticizing, Albert Bell for making that move, saying that he ducked Andy Cruz. And I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. Like, who wouldn't do that? If you're in Albert Bell's shoes, who wouldn't do that? Would you really take that risk and go up against a fucking Olympic gold medalist in an IBF title eliminator where you may come up short and never fight for a world title? Because Albert Bell isn't the most in-demand fighter. Like, a lot of people aren't really rushing to fight Albert Bell. So, you know what I'm saying? Would you really take that risk against Andy Cruz and possibly lose? Or would you go ahead and fight somebody that you're familiar with in Abdullah Mason, although y'all are friends? You know what I mean? Y'all got tons of work in together. I mean, I just sparred each other not too long ago. And you got a good idea of who Abdullah Mason is and what you could do to possibly, overthrow him. And it's for the WBA lightweight title of the world. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Then on top of that, Albert Bell is from Toledo, Ohio, which is, from what I understand, it's like an hour or two away from Cleveland. So, that's a drive that your people, I'm sure, will be willing to make to come out and see you fight for your first world title. It makes all the sense in the world to me. It makes all the sense in the world to me, man. Would you fight in a final title eliminator, or would you fight for a world title? It's a no-brainer to me. Just being honest. So, salute to Albert Bell. He's getting a big opportunity. I seen they did their little media workout. I'm gonna go ahead and share the video for y'all to see, and I just want to give you guys exactly what I think. Now, a lot of people who may be fans of Albert Bell may take a y'all may take offense to what I'm saying. Um, but this is just my honest opinion on what I see when Albert Bell is doing his media workout. So apparently, Abdullah got hurt by Albert Bell in sparring. Is that what's being said? I think that's what they're saying. But let me go ahead. Have I been watching the World Cup? No, I am not into soccer, but unfortunately, I see there's a lot of excitement behind it. There's a lot of soccer fans that I know that are watching it, but I do not watch. Uh, I do not watch soccer, so I'm completely out of the loop when it comes to that. Let me go ahead and grab my charger. Marissa, please don't curse me out. Give me 1 sec. All right. All right, so this is the media workout for Albert Bell. I don't know if Abdullah Mason did too much. I didn't see any video, but I just want to get a good look at Albert Bell because I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I've always heard his name, but I've never really paid too much attention to his fights or anything like that. So let's get a good idea of who Albert Bell is. Obviously, we can see off of this video alone, he's tall, he's rangy. Um, outside of that, let's just see exactly what type of fighter he is.
Jerry Hogan, Cortez Bay to ringside. Just Blaze, Killer, Jimmy Mix, Cortez Bay ringside.
Look like he got some decent hand speed, good shadow boxing overall. I'm seeing a little bit of head movement. I'm seeing some turning. I'm seeing him be a little light on his feet. Good combinations. But the thing is, when I was studying Albert Bell, when I was watching his fights, it didn't really look like he did much of any of that. So I don't know if this is a new approach for Albert Bell, or he's one of those dudes who shadow boxes and doesn't box anything near like how he shadow boxes, because there are fighters like that who seem to work on everything when they shadow box, and then when they fight, they just abandon so much different shit. I don't know exactly what type of fighter Albert Bell is, but you know what I mean, I'm not gonna get too deep into the shadow boxing. I do think it is very important, but I actually want to look at the pad work, because there are coaches who, when they do pad work with fighters, they're working on specific things, or at least give you some type of insight on exactly what shots they're looking to land, what they're going to be, yeah, like what type of shots they're going to land, exactly like how, what angles they're going to be taking against their opponents, and, what way they're going to be walking towards and shit like that. So, let's take a look, because now we at the point where he's gloved up. I think he's about to do. I'm not about to get no copyright strike because niggas want to play Meek Mill in the background. So let's see. That coach looks very familiar. So anybody who knows who's holding the pads, please let me know. I've seen him around before. I've definitely seen him around. Those some big ass sock and bopper pads. He's doing the pad work from an orthodox stance, so it makes me feel like this ain't really strategic pad work. They just going through the motions, because Abdullah is a southpaw. Abdullah's a southpaw, right? Am I tripping? Yeah. J Day said, "Wow, them niggas in the ring." That's what I'm trying to figure out. Niggas, ain't no reason why you in there unless you contributing to the workout in some way. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they doing. They just sitting there just bobbing their head and just happy to be there. I don't understand. That's entourages for you, man. I think entourage is some of the dumbest things to have as a boxer, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, if them niggas just in the gym just sitting around just trying to talk and take up space, bro. See, I'm that type person, bro. Like, if you're not contributing to the work, there's no reason why you should be here. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I had a couple fighters who would, like, in the past and shit, every time they work out, they gotta bring their girlfriend. They gotta bring their best friend. They gotta bring two of their homies from around the way. They gotta bring their father in. They gotta bring their mother in. They gotta bring in their sisters, brothers, uncles, aunts. Bro, if you are not contributing to the work, like if you just want to come through and see what's going on, all right, cool. But like outside of that, bro, like there's no reason why you should be here. Level Sports said, I remember somebody brought their dog with the entourage. Yeah, Tevin Farmer used to do that shit. Tevin Farmer, used to have his wife in the locker. Like, look, listen, everybody got their thing. You feel what I'm saying? But like when a fighter is getting ready for a fight, there's no reason why their spouse should be in the locker room. That's just me. That's just me. Like this nigga Tevin Farmer had a little like a little Yorkie with him. And like the Yorkie all walking around the whole locker room and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why? Like for what? Is this nigga like your emotional support animal? Why the fuck is this nigga in the locker room? Are you gonna have an anxiety attack if this fucking dog ain't here? Like I didn't really understand that, and I'm not really a big proponent of having like your girlfriend, wife, whoever the fiance, whoever the fuck it is. I don't think you're that much of a factor from a boxer sense for you to be here. Remember you told that story that one boxer brought out a rapper, then got knocked out. That done happened so many times. I don't even know who you refer. I don't even know what story you're referring to, bro. I done seen that so many times, bro. So many times. I done seen niggas have like rappers do whole performances like during they walkouts. These niggas is dancing. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is having a time and then they go in there and get sparked. Like, I'll tell y'all one. So there was one time where this nigga, there was this bull, he was undefeated. He had like all knockouts, right? From Philly. I ain't gonna say his name. But there was one time that this nigga had a whole rapper walk him out. And this nigga's two-stepping, this nigga dapping up niggas in the crowd, bro. His walkout was like 5 minutes, bro. Bro, that his walkout was 5 minutes. Meanwhile, the Mexican boy, this nigga ain't even have a like a fight outfit. This nigga had like a tank top, some Mexican boxing trunks, and just some regular boxing shoes, bro. Like the nigga, but he was undefeated too. So they thought, oh, all his fights was in Mexico. All he fought was bums. We gonna tune him up, bro. This fucking Mexican bull is the truth, bro. This Mexican bull beat this nigga ass from every side of the fucking ring, bro. Beat that nigga ass in the red corner, the blue corner, both neutral corners, beating the dog shit out of him. I said an amateur level boxer brought out a rapper. Amateur level boxer brought up. Why am I not remembering that? I'm not remembering that, y'all. An amateur brought out a rapper? It's slipping. I ain't gonna lie. Like that's slipping my mind right now. Josue, what's going on, brother? The kid and the amateurs. Damn, I don't know what y'all talking about. But that shit, if I said that, that shit definitely came from a real place. But nah, this Mexican bull beat the shit. Yo, this Mexican bull beat the shit out of this dude. And he was from Philly too. Bro, beat him into submission, stopped him, bro. Man, that shit was so embarrassing, bro. That nigga came back to the locker room crying and all that shit. You said he got sparked. It was a wild bet. Oh, you gotta be talking about was it at my show? Yo, I think I know what you talking about, bro. I think it was at my show at Pivot Boxing Academy. He got knocked out by one of my homies. If we talking about skills, I got a homie by the name of Old Skills. He was on the live before. Skills knocked this one boy the fuck out, bro. This nigga had people walking him out. Bro, he had a rapper. Yeah. He had a rapper walking him out. He had like these niggas with like these big ass gold chains on and shit. Bro, that nigga got put to sleep. My boy Skills hit him. This nigga just fell right on his face. Boom. Bro, them niggas was, bro, like his family was like all screaming and shit. Yo, that shit was bad, bro. Can't be in here playing underestimating niggas and none of that. And apparently, like the nigga was like a firefighter or something. Bro, he had all his firefighter buddies in there too. Yo, Skills put that nigga to bed. And Skills one of them niggas that look a lot older than what he is. So like right now he probably like 38, 39. But at the time he probably was like 35, but the nigga looked like he 50. So when you look at him, you're like, oh, this nigga, oh hell, I'm gonna fuck this nigga up. No, Skills really a dog. Like this nigga really a dog. So Bull was sleeping on him and shit. Like before, after the weigh-ins and shit, this nigga was outside chopping it up with his niggas, all laughing and playing and all this, bro. All this, yo, he was underestimating the shit out of Skills, bro. I heard he was saying like little shit, like this shit about to be easy, blah blah. And I was telling Skills just to amp him up, I'm like, yo, you know this nigga saying, he like, what? Yeah, you know he's saying that shit. He was like, all right, bet, bro. First comp, yo, they got in a 50-50, bro. They got into an exchange. And he hooked off on him. Boom, boom. He threw a double hook. Boom, boom. When the ball came in, Skills just dropped the overhand on him. Just chopped him. This nigga fell right on his face. Boom. That shit on video too. He was definitely getting with that nigga, put him to sleep. Yeah, he came. Yeah, I remember that shit. That's crazy. That shit almost slipped my mind. Bro, he got knocked out in front of his firefighter niggas. He got knocked out in front of his family. He got knocked out in front of his homies. Bro, that was just like a super bad John. It was one of them Johns, like he fell on his face. Boom. Then he tried to get up and then fell on his face again. Boom. Like that nigga was gone. Mark ain't shit. You know he said you soft, right? Nah, I told that nigga, I was like, yo, he talking that. It was coming from a real place. I'm not gonna let my homie not know what the fuck this nigga thinking or saying. Like, yo, you know this nigga said, you know what I'm saying? He like, what? No, I ain't talking about Bell. I'm talking this a old story. An old story. Some boy got knocked out in my gym. Came out with a rapper, and man, he had this one nigga. He like a fake ass Anuel and shit. That nigga walked out there, big ass shades on. And he had like the Edgar haircut. You know the Puerto Ricans, the Edgar haircut. You know what I'm saying? Had a big ass gold chain. You know what I'm saying? Talking, bro, that you would have thought this nigga was a superstar. The whole time the nigga had like one fight. They was gassing him crazy, bro. My dad came up a couple dollars off that nigga because he sold a lot of tickets, bro. Bro, after he got knocked out, bro, all them niggas walked out. And my dad went ahead and sold them seats again. Doubled up on that bitch. Damn! Those niggas waiting outside, man. I can't get in, man. I can't get in. Niggas was leaving, just dropping their tickets at the door, like, yo, like, we out. You know what I'm saying? My dad was like, all right, went and sold them tickets again. Boom, boom, boom. Niggas came right back in. Stupid ass. He came in with a rapper, whatever. I couldn't even tell you. He wasn't nobody notable. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, this pad work that I'm seeing right here, not really like too crazy, to be honest with you. It's orthodox pad work. I'm not really a fan of that if you're getting ready for a southpaw. But like I said, it could just be going through the motions. It's just a regular media workout. Maybe Albert Bell just losing these last couple pounds. I don't know. Or maybe they just don't want to show us too much. You know what I mean? It could be that. Okay, right here, he's the coach is having a southpaw stance. Maybe they told him to do that, or maybe he's working on both. I don't know. But this is southpaw. Okay, Albert Bell look like he got some fast hands, which is weird because and you see this pad work right here, you see I'm not really a fan of this type of pad work. See, I'm a technical. I like to do things, a bit more technical. Now, when you see him throwing a jab, I want to pause when he shoots the jab. Look at how much leverage he's taking away from the shot when he's jabbing. Look, why is the jab ending right here? If you're as tall and rangy as Albert Bell, when you're shooting that jab, look, let's take. Why is the jab not being fully extended? Why is this jab not being fully extended? Why is the guy who's holding the pad stretching his arm out more than the guy who's actually supposed to be throwing the punch? I don't really understand that. Like when we're doing pad work, part of the pad work is perfecting your technique. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna throw a jab while I'm not gonna have my guy throw a jab when he's holding the pad and then he's just shooting it like this. Because these bad habits can come into the ring. You want to fully extend that jab. Fully extend them jab. Your straight shots in general. You want to roll the shoulders. Boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Even when you're doing the hook, a lot of people, they slap and that's why these fighters' shoulders be getting fucked up and shit like that. Because when these dudes be holding pads, they boom, boom. They go towards the fist instead of letting the fist come towards them. So they smacking down on the hand, and wear and tear over time. That could, you know what I'm saying? That could fuck with your shoulders. That could fuck with your hands and shit like that. I done seen it happen. You know what I'm saying? And then when you're throwing the hook, you know what I mean? While the fighter's throwing the hook, you're smacking your pad onto the hook. You know what I'm saying? When you should just put the pad there and let the guy turn the hook over to the fucking pad. Let these guys do the work. You're doing the work for them. This fucking gnat, bro. This fucking gnat is really annoying. But Sometimes media workouts be smoking mirrors. I mean, possibly, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I mean, maybe they take a more technical approach when they're in the gym. But, to me, you're doing a tall fighter like Albert Bell a disservice when you're doing pad work like this. Get him in the habit of turning his punches over. There's no reason why you should be smothering his shots. I don't really get that. I don't understand it. This is lazy to me. Even his right hand's not fully extended. You know what I mean? It looked good, good combinations, good speed and shit like that. And for somebody who doesn't pay attention to the technical stuff and boxing, this may be appealing to them. But for me, I just see a lot of like, why are you this close jabbing? Why are you this close jabbing? And that's a horrible habit that Albert Bell has overall. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I went back and I watched his fights, and like, there's a lot of people who's so concerned for Abdullah Mason when it comes to Albert Bell. Everybody sees Albert Bell as this big ass threat, and I get it. He's undefeated. You know what I'm saying? He's tall, he's rangy, all of that stuff. But y'all act like Abdullah Mason don't got a long reach himself. He's not a small guy. He's a big lightweight in his own right. He might not be as tall as Albert Bell. He's about 5'9" and shit like that. But I think his reach, compensates for his height. And for what I understand, Abdullah Mason got a 6'2" reach. And that might be the same fucking reach that Albert Bell has. To be honest with you, Albert Bell looked like he got short arms, low key. Actually, now that I'm looking, Abdullah Mason has a longer reach than Albert Bell. He has a 74-inch arm reach, and Albert Bell has a 73. So, yeah, I mean, both of these guys both have long arms. However, I don't like how y'all just acting like, oh, Albert Bell's tall, he's rangy. And so is Abdullah. So is Abdullah. You know what I'm saying? What is it, a 3-inch height advantage? But so what? Abdullah Mason has an inch longer reach than him. So there's only so far that height and shit is gonna go. And when I'm watching Albert Bell box, this dude has a shit ton of flaws. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm surprised. He hasn't really had, the best opponents or whatever the case is. He had to get it how he lived. You know what I'm saying? He had to fight who wanted to fight him. But I'm watching this dude, and one of the biggest things about Albert Bell is he do not fight tall. He do not fight tall. He jumps in. He jumps into his opponent's range. That's one thing. When Albert Bell's punching, his chin is in the air. When somebody's being the aggressor, he pulls straight back. When he punches, he keeps his head on the center line. There's so many things, bro. Don't take my word for it. There's like an 8-minute highlight reel clip, and I watched his last fight with Keith Hunter. You know what I mean? I watched the one fight where he knocked dude out with one punch and shit like that. I watched the best of Albert Bell that he showcased so far. I watched his most recent performances because you're as good as your last fight. And then I went back and I just watched his career, through some clips that I had seen and shit like that. And it was the same mistakes over and over and over again. And Albert Bell, he doesn't like to be on the back foot. He actually likes to be the one to come forward. He likes to throw the combinations. And even though he doesn't have a high knockout ratio, he got some solid pop. He got some solid pop. So, you know what I mean? He likes to let his hands go. He like to go to the body. He like to rip combinations. You know what I'm saying? But this dude, Albert Bell, makes a lot of mistakes, man. He makes a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes, in all honesty, that could be deadly for somebody like Abdullah Mason. Abdullah Mason has good knockout power, good finishing ability, good body attack, good speed, explosive, accurate. Albert Bell is going to have to bring out, whatever extra tools he got for the job, he's going to have to bring that out. I think he's going to have to bring out all his tools for this one. Because based off of what I've seen in his fights, you know what I'm saying? I think stylistically, Abdullah's all wrong for Albert Bell. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not underestimating Albert Bell. Anything can happen in the sport of boxing. Maybe he got something up his sleeve that I am not aware of. But based off of what I've seen in previous performances, I think stylistically, Abdullah's all wrong for this dude. You know what I mean? I don't think he could play the tall fighter with Abdullah because Abdullah's just as rangy as him. I don't think he and then what I'm noticing is it looks like he has fast hands when he's doing the pad work, but when I'm watching him fight, he looks slow. You know what I'm saying? Not the slowest, but he definitely not the fastest. And Abdullah looks like he's a lot faster than him. It looks a lot quicker than him. especially offensively. So, like I said, I'm not trying to downplay Albert Bell. That's just shit that I see. You know what I mean? And a lot of people put respect on Albert Bell's name to the point where I was like, you know what? Let me go check out Albert Bell and see how dangerous of a fight this is. And it could be very well dangerous. However, I've seen Abdullah plenty of times. I know what he's capable of. And, after that Sam Noakes fight, he might have just gotten better. Especially knowing that he's a world champion now. You know what I mean? Knowing that you're a world champion could definitely boost your confidence. Your momentum's at an all-time high, and it may just motivate you to, go back in the lab and prove, because it is harder to keep your titles than it is to earn a title, from what I've heard. So, Jay said his reach here doesn't look that long. It's because he's not fully extended. The coach that's doing the pad work with him is not allowing him to fully extend his punches, so you can't tell. That's what I'm saying. Bro, there's no reason why you are 6'1", 6'2", however tall Albert Bell is, and when he's punching, we're only seeing him throw his punches here, 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 here. No, bitch, we gotta see that. Wang, 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 wang. We need to see that full extension. Turning that shoulder over. You're gonna need all the reach you can to keep Abdullah up off of you, man. So I think this is an uphill battle for Albert Bell, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Then on top of that, what a lot of people not really paying attention to is in the lead up to this fight, he was getting ready for Andy Cruz. Andy Cruz, a smaller guy who, is more into the chess match and the, going IQ for IQ, not that aggressive. You know what I mean? He likes to box. You know what I'm saying? A guy that was significantly smaller than you. Abdullah Mason's a totally different style. Damn near the complete opposite of a fucking Andy Cruz. So now he has to switch his whole camp up. You know what I mean? It might not be that crazy of an adjustment because at the end of the day, he sparred Abdullah Mason a couple times. He's familiar with him. He knows what he brings to the table, all that good stuff. But, bro, you just spent the whole camp getting ready for a Cuban outboxer. Whole time you about to fight a black American stepper that is quick, fast, you know what I'm saying? Explosive, powerful, with great finishing ability, great combination punches. Like this dude, Abdullah Mason, is an offensive machine. And you probably was relying on your height and your reach going into this Andy Cruz fight, but now you're going in there with somebody who actually has a longer reach than you. Might not be as tall as you, but he'll make you pay the price in a more devastating way than somebody like Andy Cruz would. Andy Cruz will let you off the hook as long as he winning. And Abdullah not playing with you. Abdullah could be up 11-0 on the cards, and he's still going for the kill in the 12th round. And with all these defensive flaws, I see where Albert Bell, I don't know, man. I really don't know. So Pro Dan said he don't get touched a lot, though. Well, let me ask you this, brother. Who has he fought to really challenge him defensively? Who has he fought? Keith Hunter? Joseph Ruiz? Jason Velez, who had 11 losses. What I'm trying to get at is, and I'm not trying to play the man, because at the end of the day, he fought who he needed to fight. You feel me? So I'm not, there's no disrespect. I mean, I remember back when he fought Andy Vences. I remember when he had some momentum a few years back, a little bit before the pandemic and shit like that. That was a good win. But overall, I don't really see anything. I don't see any fighter that had the skill set of an Abdullah Mason that's really going to test his defense. I don't see anything. I mean, y'all could let me know. Is anybody on Albert Bell's resume as good offensively as an Abdullah Mason? You know what I'm saying? I don't see it at all. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Bell like in his 30s already. I don't really think age is going to play a factor, but Abdullah, it may at the same time. The reason why I say the age might not play a factor because it's not like Albert Bell burnt out. It's not like he took a shit ton of punishment. I highly doubt he took any punishment, in a professional setting thus far. So for him to be 33 years old, he's a pretty preserved 33-year-old. So I don't really think that's that much of a factor. But at the same time, Abdullah Mason is somebody who is in his early 20s. You know what I'm saying? And that youth is could be very advantageous when you're in the ring. You know, there's an 11-year age gap between the two. So that may be advantageous for Abdullah Mason. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we'll see. I don't think that's really going to play a part. I think what's going to play a part is Albert Bell's defensive flaws. I'm going to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? That pulling straight back, that's going to get you hurt against Abdullah Mason, man. That whole, chin in the air while you throwing punches, as well as Abdullah Mason counter punches, no. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't see that. I don't see that being a good thing. There's no way you're gonna keep your head on the center line with somebody like Abdullah Mason and you're not gonna get hit. There's no way that you're pulling straight back with your chin in the air against Abdullah Mason and you don't get hit. There's no way that you fight, even though you have a good height and reach to you, there's no way that you're gonna be fighting in close quarters, jumping it. I've literally seen moments where like he's jumping into shots, giving away his range. You don't want to do that with somebody like Abdullah Mason. You gonna run into some hot shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think Abdullah's gonna stop him late. That's what I think. I think like eighth round. I'm gonna keep it real. I think eighth round. I think Abdullah's gonna pack Albert Bell. It's just too, and I think the body attack is gonna be brutal. I think the offensive display that Abdullah Mason is gonna put on. I don't think Albert Bell is gonna have uh much to respond off of. Like he got good. It looked like he got some sneaky power. So Abdullah definitely got to be disciplined with his defense. Hopefully, he learned that in the Sam Noakes fight because he did take a little bit of punishment. Bring his hands back. Be responsible, be sharp. You feel what I'm saying? But I think offensively, I think he a little bit too much for Albert Bell, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if Albert Bell's ever been dropped in his career. I don't know that. I don't think he ever has. I'm sure somebody would have brought it up by now. I'm saying I don't really see anything on his box track that lets me know that he's been dropped or anything of that nature. But he got a good record, man. 28-0, 9 knockouts. Not the biggest finisher, but from what I heard, from what it looks like, it looked like he got some decent power. So that's good to know. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't see how he gets past Abdullah's offense. He doesn't. He's defensively flawed. I don't see him being defensively responsible or like that. It looks like he likes to be on the front foot for the most part. He's definitely going to be on the back foot against Abdullah Mason. So we got to see if he's going to be uncomfortable with that. You know what I mean? And when he gets into 50-50 exchanges with Abdullah Mason, is he going to be able to exit out on time before Abdullah lands that big bomb on him? I think Abdullah's going to punish this dude, bro. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm not trying to disrespect Albert Bell. But based off everything I saw, bro, it's a lot of red flags there, man. It's a lot of red flags. Look like he got some steam on that right hand. He definitely turned that right hand over. That's all they showed us for today. Did Abdullah work out at all? Okay, he did. Let's see. You see what I'm talking about? This little flashy coordinator pad work. Just something good to look at. You know what I'm saying? It's not like anybody gonna sit there and let you throw a 15 punch combination like that. You feel what I'm saying? Let me see. You see how he's snapping that jab out? Even with his straight shots, he's getting the shots off. Look like that's his brother. His brother doesn't look like that. He's really all into the pad work, all like that. It just looks like they having fun. But I'm seeing him snap that jab out. But what I'm noticing is when Abdullah's doing the pad work, look, that's a good fucking jab right there, boy. God damn. Look at that left hand. You see how he takes his head off the line with that left hand too? Just educated boxer. You see how he's bringing the hands back? I'm expecting to see a defensively disciplined Abdullah Mason, man. I'm expecting to see a more patient Abdullah Mason, but still working with bad intentions for sure. He looks efficient. He looks sharp. He looks fast. He looks strong, man. So salute to Abdullah Mason. I mean, definitely is Albert Bell another Abel Mendoza. I won't go that far. No, I wouldn't go that far. I think that's a bit excessive. Abel Mendoza is just a product of getting moved well. Mark, does Abdullah give you Boots vibes? He definitely reminds me of Boots. They have a lot of similarities from a mental aspect. Abdullah may not be like the same type of athlete that Boots is. I do think that when they are, I think Boots is a bit more elusive than Abdullah. Um, but they're both mean. You know what I'm saying? They both mean. They both like they like to get in the trenches. They like to bang. You feel what I'm saying? They fast. You know what I mean? So they definitely got a lot of similarities, but I do think Boots is more athletic, like more athletic than Abdullah. But offensively, they are very similar in my opinion. That's how I see it. Yeah. They be calling them baby boots and shit like that. I be seeing that, and I see why they say that. Um, Offensive machines, man. Great conditioning, great finishing ability. They go for the kill. They don't play with you in there. And Boots is more of a showman than Abdullah. Abdullah just like to whoop ass. You know what I mean? Abdullah's a bit more reserved. Boots like to play with his food sometimes. So, you know what I mean? I don't really like that quality. I don't really like playing with your food. I feel like if they don't belong in there with you, they get you get them up out of there. Abdullah is that type of dude. He not even about to play with you. If he see there's a way to, if he see blood in the water, he going to attack. You feel me? So they both have that similar mentality though. You know what I'm saying? Pack him up, get him up out of there, catch a body, go about your day. And they to themselves too. They don't really like to do. That's very dangerous to do before the fight of your fucking life, Abdullah. But it is what it is. I wouldn't do no shit like that. I'm not doing no backflip before the fight, so I could possibly twist the ankle or whatever the case is. But I mean, that's just me. Uh, Alda Powell said at the top rank didn't know what really happened to him. I thought he retired, but he kept getting fights on other apps and would see no promotion on his fights. I think they ended up dropping Albert Bell because he couldn't get a fucking fight. You know what I'm saying? I think he was struggling to get opponents. They were saying how I had heard, I don't know if it's true, but I had heard some shit that like Shakur Stevenson and them declined to fight with him. And, it was just so many opportunities that, he was looking to get. He was just never able to get them. So I guess since, Top Rank saw that they couldn't really do much with him, they just let him go. I don't know, but I definitely know he was with Top Rank at one point. You know what I mean? So I actually like the respect that Albert Bell and Abdullah got as well. That was actually pretty dope to see. I mean, I like some trash talk. Don't get it fucked up. I like a little back and forth. I like a little animosity, beef, and all that. But you know what I mean? I'm also not the type of guy that's gonna force it if it ain't there. Albert Bell, you know, Abdullah Mason, for what I understand, they good friends. But you know what I'm saying? When the opportunity knocks, you gotta it's either you gonna answer or you gonna back off the block. And Albert Bell, like, man, listen, I'm 33 years old, bro. I need to get an opportunity. So what the fuck is we doing? So I get it. Um, Abdullah Mason, I'm sure he isn't taking it personal. I'm sure after the fight, regardless of who wins, they'll continue being good friends. That's something that a lot of these dudes in boxing today should learn from. You know what I'm saying? No, and even Abdullah even said it. He said, "Man, it's definitely awkward because that's my guy and shit like that." But I mean, we gotta fight. You know what I mean? Like we cool, but we ain't that cool where we not gonna fight each other. We ain't gonna let this fuck our money up. So I mean, you gotta respect it, bro. You gotta respect it because nowadays it's like these dudes rather be friends than feed their families, which is crazy to me. But that's the we in the brotherhood era right now, man. You know what I'm saying? We in the brotherhood era of boxing, where it make more sense to be friends rather than fight each other and possibly lose to each other, because then that'll be embarrassing. You can't be friends with them no more because he gave you a loss on your record. And these dudes, these dudes different, bro. What happened to Joe Cordina? Wasn't he supposed to fight Abdullah? Yes, but unfortunately, he had an issue back in the UK. He had beat somebody up. You know what I mean? They antagonized him. They pushed him. So I think he should be able to beat that. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, I don't know if him being a boxer will hurt his case, but when you got legal issues, in a different country and then you attempt to come over here, I mean, if it's a serious situation, I mean, that's gonna cause he had some visa issues. So they weren't able to get that going. So they went and they picked up Albert Bell instead and they got themselves a fight. But I'm telling you, man, based off of what I saw with Albert Bell and his previous fights, man, he makes a lot of defensive mistakes, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, like that, I'm watching him. He's jumping in. Before he even throws a punch, I see him jumping in. You know what I mean? I'm seeing him uh fighting close range a lot of time, mid range, close range. You know what I mean? I don't see him winning that type of fight with somebody as sharp offensively as Abdullah Mason. Then when he's punching, he keeps his head right on the center line. When he's throwing combinations, his chin is in the air. When somebody's attempting to press him, he pulls straight back with his chin in the air. Lot of red flags defensively that Abdullah Mason could pick up on. And bro, I highly doubt that Albert Bell's gonna go 12 rounds and not get cracked on his chin by Abdullah. I think Abdullah is just way too sharp for that. But we'll see, man. And one thing about Albert Bell that I noticed is he likes to be he likes to be front foot dominant. So I mean, I don't see him walking Abdullah down. I really don't. But you never know. This is boxing, and I mean, some shit could happen. Maybe Albert Bell knows something I don't. We'll see. Uh, Abdullah didn't say he was his brother. Thank God. Thank God. Yasir Ali said, "Who's your top 5 favorite boxers right now?" Boots, Bam, Benavidez. Man, I'm telling you, Moses Atama is climbing up my list. I'm gonna say Moses Atama, and then we're gonna go. Nah, I'm gonna say Abdullah. I'm gonna say Bam, Boots. No, Boots, Bam, Benavidez. This ain't in no particular order. The top 3, I look at. I got all of them at the same level. You know what I mean? It's like 1A, 1B, 1C. So the top 3: Boots, Bam, Benavidez. Then after that, Moses Atama, and I like Abdullah Mason, man. So I got 3 top guys, pound for pound level guys. Then I got 2 up and coming guys. Well, Abdullah Mason's a champion, but you know what I'm saying, like young, up and coming, fighters. Moses Atama, I really like that. I like it. I like how the way he fight, man. He's a dog. He nice. Warrior Love said, "Bro, Bell is also completely different than Mason's initial opponent. To be honest with you, I think that Joe Cordina is a little bit more dangerous than Albert Bell. You know what I'm saying? I really do. I think Joe Cordina punches with meaner intentions. I think he's more dangerous offensively than Albert Bell. Albert Bell, you know what I'm saying? He's really lacking. He's really lacking in the experience department in terms of facing top names. Like Joe Cordina done been around the block. He done became world champion. He done fought, top caliber guys and shit like that. So, he was flawed as well. I thought Abdullah would have beat him, but I actually think that Joe Cordina is sneakier. You know what I mean? I thought he presented more of a threat offensively to Abdullah Mason, especially when Abdullah Mason, gets a little bit careless defensively and shit like that. Albert Bell, You could tell he got some, sneaky power, like I said. So Abdullah definitely got to be on point. He likes to punch in combinations. He could get aggressive and shit like that. But a lot of defensive flaws, man. I can't ignore it. I can't. Do y'all think Albert Bell's better than Joe Cordina? Like, did he show you that he's better than Joe Cordina? I don't know. He has some intangibles that can make this fight difficult for Abdullah. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But Joe Cordina actually done been around the block. He's a more battle tested guy. Yeah, Albert Bell's undefeated and Joe Cordina's not. He got knocked out and shit like that. But I don't know. Joe Cordina showed me more. He said, let's see your pro record in comparison to Bell. So now we critiquing me because I'm critiquing Albert Bell. Crazy. Are you a part of Albert Bell's team? Who are you to be so offended about my opinion on Albert Bell? Who said anything about me being better than Albert Bell? Did I ever say that I was a better fighter than Albert Bell? No, I did not. I said he has defensive flaws. Everybody, everybody to an extent has defensive flaws. Everybody has flaws in their game. And I'm exposing it. I'm letting it be known what I see as somebody who's in the boxing game. You know what I'm saying? And I think Abdullah Mason could capitalize off of it. Why are niggas being offended because I'm giving somebody, some type of criticism? Everybody get criticized. Ain't nobody exempt from criticism. Why you so offended? That's what I'm trying to figure out. And who the fuck are you? Are you a professional fighter? What's your record? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Niggas be up in arms when you say something about somebody they like. Fuck out of here. Sing, what up, man? Talk to me. What's going on? What's going on? How we feeling? Just talking about this Albert Bell, Abdullah Mason shit. You know what I'm saying? Good fight that's coming up. Toledo versus Cleveland. I'll fuck with it. Definitely gonna be tuned in. It's gonna be like 100 and something in Philly on July 4th. I'm cool. I'm gonna stay in this motherfucking this crib. They got the central air, you know what I mean? Air booming. We just got the air filter replaced too. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be an ice box in this bitch. We gonna sit back, we gonna look at the fireworks from the top. I'm at the top of this building and we gonna have a good time. We gonna watch some good boxing. I'm looking forward to seeing Tiger Johnson fight as well. You know what I'm saying? There's some good shit going on. Good card. Good card, man. See how niggas get quiet, right? See how niggas get quiet? You talking that bullshit. Niggas be having their panties in a bunch and shit on some whole shit. Yeah, man. Bruce Carrington gonna be rumbling too. I seen him. Scooter Davis gonna be in the building, and the Abdullah Mason brothers. I really want to see them too. Is Ibrahim Mason, and then I was just learning all their names too. It's Abdul. Is it Abdul Rahman or some shit like? Man, I butchered their name. I'm sorry. I was learning all the Mason brothers' names not too long ago because I don't want to be disrespectful and just had them and Abdullah shadow the whole time. You know what I mean? They got their own thing. They got their own identity. So I'm trying to be respectful, but it's too many of them little niggas, man. Was it like 5 of them? Shit is crazy. Trick said, I think Timothy Bradley is going to be commentating in Crawford for the Mason fight. Really? Really? On the zone? I think They doing like some shit with TNT or something like that. I don't know exactly what TNT's affiliation is with the zone. I'm gonna have to do some research on that, but I did see. Uh, okay, so it's for TNT. Is TNT associated with the zone now? Look, man, get your fucking money. Shout out Tim Bradley. You feel what I'm saying? Do I agree with him all the time? No. Have I been critical of him in the past? Yes. One thing about me, man, I am for I am for former fighters, pro fighters being commentators in the sport, man. Now, I know goofy ass niggas from the music industry. Now, I know goofy ass basketball players, football players. Man, get some motherfucking commentators in there who have either studied and reported on the boxing game for years or uh, world class coaches or world class fighters. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to see. Like, we want to see motherfuckers like uh, like I see Antonio Tarver commentating. I don't mind, Antonio Tarver been at the top of the sport. He know what it takes. You know what I'm saying? Andre Ward, I love it. Lennox Lewis, I love it. I see Steve Cunningham Sr. Salute to him. Shout out to the two-time world champion. There was a few. Like I see Tito Mercado commentating. I could get with that. I mean, they just provide a different perspective. They have Abner Mares. Paulie Malignaggi. They just bring Chris Algieri. They just bring a totally different perspective to the table that nobody could really provide except themselves because they actually been in there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with that, man. I love that shit. Love seeing former fighters get they props, get their credit. Like when motherfuckers is commentating basketball, they either former basketball players or motherfuckers who done been announcing and reporting on the game for hella time. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you check that TNT broadcast, what you got? You had, I don't know if they still on TNT. I think they somewhere else now. But you had Shaq, one of the greatest, most dominant players of all time. You got Charles Barkley, who was the man back in his day. You have Kenny the Jet Smith, hell of a player. Then you had Ernie Johnson, who been talking the game for I don't know how long. So you gotta fuck with that, man. Like you gotta fuck with that. You gotta respect that. I said Philly got Jalen Brown. Yeah, I've seen that. I don't really know what to make of that because I don't really watch basketball. But that's dope. That's dope, man. Look like Philly got a good little lineup. They're getting ready for the Knicks. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? De'Aaron Fox said, off topic, I've been watching film on Virgil, and it's safe to say Buddy is mad emotional when he fights. I think Boots is in a dangerous fight. However, I see Boots clipping him. I think that if Boots actually fights a disciplined technical fight, I think he could break down Virgil Ortiz and stop him. You know what I'm saying? Like if he don't get careless or had these mental lapses that we were speaking about yesterday, and he just fights a focused, sharp, disciplined fight. He's the better overall fighter than Virgil. Virgil just got one way. You know what I'm saying? So while he's coming forward and attempting to establish his offense, keep that jab on him. Keep varying that jab too. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he tries to get them shots off, you know what I mean? You do what you need to do. Throw in your rolls, step off of the line, give me some lateral movement. You know what I'm saying? Stay off of the ropes and just keep boxing him. He's gonna break down. And he don't understand range as well as Jerron Ennis too. That's another thing. Virgil is most successful at either close to like he's very effective at close range. You know what I mean? When you sit in the pocket with him and bang with him, that's when Virgil, gets his shit up. But when they boxing, when it's just like if they boxing at range and they just going IQ for IQ, Virgil's not fucking with Boots. Boots is on a different level mentally than Virgil. I think he could really. I think the only way Virgil has success is if Boots puts himself in position to give Virgil an opportunity. If he doesn't give him any opportunities, if he don't give him anything, if Boots makes Virgil work for every shot that he puts out there, Virgil's not gonna win. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. I think Boots is gonna break him down and stop him late. I think this one will be late. Not like Virgil, seventh, eighth round, whatever. This one will be like a 10-11 type jump. If he goes about it, in a calculated manner. Or he could just beat him on the scorecards. I don't see Virgil beating Boots on those scorecards. I really don't. I think Virgil, for real, if he don't clip Boots, hurt him, knock him out, I don't see Virgil winning. They played chess. Boots got him all day. Boots is too fast. You know what I'm saying? Too sharp, too accurate, too good of a counter puncher. I just don't see Virgil getting off on Boots at all. Virgil couldn't finish Bohachuk or Majimov, and they're slow. Yeah, but I just think that a lot of people want to see Boots downfall. That's just me. That's what I personally believe. So they're putting this notion, even if they don't believe it, they're putting this notion out there that Virgil could beat him because in reality, that's what they want. A lot of the times when these guys are making these bold ass takes, it's not necessarily because they believe that, it's because that's what they want to see. You know what I'm saying? So let's say, for instance, I don't like Jerron Ennis. Let's just say, I love Jerron Ennis, but let's say for this example, I don't like Boots, right? And I say, and in my head, I know Boots is capable of beating Virgil. I feel like Boots is going to beat Virgil. I'm not going to let you know that because the narrative that I want to push is that Boots isn't that good. I mean, that he could be beat. So I might go ahead and put a tweet out here and say some shit like, oh, Virgil Ortiz stops Boots in 5 or 6. And once Virgil catches him on the chin, he's going to knock him out, blah, blah. It ain't necessarily like a lot in my head. I know that there's a strong possibility Boots might win, but you know what I mean? Because I don't fuck with Boots, I'd rather tell you what I want to happen instead of what I feel like is gonna happen. Shit happens all the time. Why do they want to see his downfall? Same reason they wanted to see Muhammad Ali downfall. The same reason they want to see Jack Johnson downfall. The same reason why they wanted to see Tom Melanue's downfall. You know what I mean? Same reason they wanted to see Terrence Crawford's downfall because they're black. Joe Louis, fucking Sugar Ray Robinson. Yeah, they was hating on them niggas too. Yes. Yes. They love them now that they gone. You know what I'm saying? But yes, yeah, a lot of people hated Muhammad Ali. Yes, a lot of people hated Floyd Mayweather. You know, everybody give Floyd Mayweather love now, but when he was at his peak, he was one of the most hated motherfuckers in the world today. But you know what I mean? Same reason they hate Devin Haney. You know what I mean? The same reason why they hate a lot of these guys. They're black American fighters. Roy Jones is very hated too. They're black American fighters. And when you are a black American fighter who's at the top of the boxing game, the standard is set so high that they make it damn near impossible to give you any type of praise. You know what I mean? That's what come with this shit because they know that the black American fighter is the best fighter, has always been the best fighter in the sport of boxing. They hate it. They don't like it. They don't want to see the black American fighter at the top of the game. So what they do is they make it as difficult as possible to give them credit or show them love. You always peep that when they retire, that's when everybody appreciate them. But while they were active and at the top of their game, they refused to get that man flowers. I mean, they hated Floyd. And they were like, man, ain't none of these niggas like Floyd. So this whole time you knew Floyd was different. You just didn't want to acknowledge it because you're a fucking racist. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Man, Floyd's boring. Man, Floyd. No, you just hate the fact that Floyd don't put himself in position to lose, you fucking weirdo. You know what I'm saying? That's all that shit is. Oh, Floyd, all he does is hug and I can show you plenty of fights where he rumbled niggas. There's so many big fights. You go watch this fight with Chop Chop. Go watch this fight with Diego Corrales. Go watch this fight with Arturo Gotti. Go watch his 2 fights with Marcos Maidana. Go watch this fight with Miguel Cotto. Like, go watch his fights with Oscar De La Hoya. Bro, rumbles. Shane Mosley, rumbles. Emmanuel Augustus, rumbles. Like, come on, bro. Niggas just be talking. But you peep now that there's like this new current generation of black fighters that these critics hate on. They always seem to try to compare them to Floyd. Man, Shakur is nothing like Floyd. Man, Floyd was so different. Man, ain't none of these niggas like Floyd. But you actively hated on Floyd while he was up. Now you want to show him all this love so you can shit on the next generation of black American fighters? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Jack Johnson was hated. Yes, he was, especially in the era that he came up in. Absolutely. they didn't want him. They didn't want him alive. They hated him, especially when he was fucking on the white holes. Them niggas ain't know how to act. We gonna hate on mates and next watch. Yeah, bro. They think about it. Think about it, y'all. Boxing's so fucking racist that bro, you don't even have to throw a punch. If you're black and you are a prominent figure in the sport of boxing, they're gonna find a way to hate on you. You don't even got to be a boxer. You don't even got to throw your hands, bro. These niggas, and it was his own people too. That's what's disgusting to me. And I know this whole man Don King wasn't shit. Oh, Don King stole from me. Oh, blah. Bro, I'm gonna tell you something right now, and I've been saying this. Ain't nothing Don King did that none of these fucking these white folks that promote haven't done. All these promoters be stealing from their fighters, scraping shit off the top and all types of shit. I'm telling you. Like, bro, go do your homework on Bob Arum and come back and you tell me what's up. Getting investigated by the FBI for rigging fights and all types of shit. All types of shit. And Bob Arum a fucking lawyer. So he know how to maneuver through the system and find different loopholes. Bro, Don King was the most powerful promoter at one point in time. This nigga had the heavyweight division in the headlock. You know, he had my favorite fighter of all time, Tito Trinidad. He has so much power and influence that the other side, them pink people hated it. So they did whatever they could to shine this negative light on Don King so they could throw him and dethrone him, and they could go ahead and take over and have their little fun with boxing. You want to know you want to know how I know I'm telling the truth? You want to know how I know I'm telling the truth? Because look what they did with Al Heyman, what they tried to do with Al Heyman. When he came in with PBC and he had basically all the big fighters. Nigga had the Charlo brothers. Nigga had Earl Spence. He had Floyd Mayweather. He had Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, Eris Landy, Lara. Bro, this dude had everybody. Adrian Broner, Jesse Vargas. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of business with Mikey Garcia and Robert Easter. Bro, this dude, he had fighters on top of Gervonta Davis, fighters on top of fighters on top of fighters on top of fighters, bro. And what happened? This motherfucker Al Heyman, y'all don't even know what his voice sound like. Y'all don't even know what his voice sound like. There's like 3 pictures of this nigga on the internet, and they did whatever they could, media included. Boxer fans, they did everything they could to go ahead and throw an anti-Heyman campaign. This nigga gave you great fights for the time that he was, at the top of boxing. You know what I mean? He had some of the best fighters. He gave you a shit ton of classics. Some of the biggest fights in the boxing game today happened because of Al Heyman. Some of the most meaningful fights that had happened within the last decade was because of Al Heyman. But because he had power, because he had influence, because he had all of the fighters that he had, them fucking promoters all try to collaborate together to sue him, talking about that he was running a monopoly. We know what he sound like now. Well, we really don't know. That could be anybody talking. You know what I'm saying? So we really don't know. He said, "Al sound like Beetlejuice." That's crazy. Sean Terrence said, "I see comments like black fighters talk too much and are humble. Meanwhile, they hate on the black fighters that don't even speak much that are humble." That's just them trying to find something to try to justify that they're fucking racist. That's foolish. That's a fucking lie, bro. Do we have black fighters that talk shit? Yes, but we also have white fighters that talk shit. Paulie Malignaggi talk hella shit. Ricky Hatton used to talk hella shit. Tyson Fury talked a shit ton. He talked a lot of shit, bro. A lot of these white dudes be talking shit, bro. But don't nobody pay attention to that shit. So how can I criticize black fighters without sounding like a racist? Let me go ahead and put a stereotype out there about them so I don't come across as a racist. You're fucking wrong. This nigga Jerron Ennis, you ain't heard this man curse not one time his whole fucking career. I mean, he don't even be talking shit. Only time he ever talk is when somebody say something to him. Bud wasn't a big trash talker neither. Andre Ward wasn't a big trash talker. He really kept to himself and stood about, stood in touch with, in touch with his faith. You know what I mean? You never even heard Andre Ward curse. Sean Porter, you know what I mean? He wasn't a big trash talker. You know what I mean? Earl Spence wasn't a big trash talker, unless you said something to him or whatever the case is, unless you disrespected him. Like a lot of these dudes be humble in reality. So they're full of shit. You feel me? Like Bruce Carrington, nice fucking guy. Nice guy. Interviewed him on the channel. You don't really be hearing him talk crazy. You know what I'm saying? So bro, a lot of these dudes be humble. A lot of these dudes be great representations of the sport, but because of people's disdain towards black people, they're gonna try to find whatever they can to try to justify their racism. That's what it come down to. That's what it come down to me. Yeah, there's a lot of yeah, it's a lot of what they call it, like Islamophobia. It's a lot of that too. Yeah, absolutely. Like, yeah, absolutely. And Ryan Garcia, one of them. Every chance he get, he talks shit about Islam or throw some shade at Islam. Teofimo Lopez the same way. That nigga Rick Glacier, man, fuck Rick Glacier. That nigga's a hater. He's a old, miserable. He's a fucking racist too. Oh, I got a black wife. I'm not racist. Yeah, nigga, slave owners used to fuck on black women all the time. That shit don't mean nothing, nigga. You need to go in. And last time I seen you, you look dirty as shit. Your stomach all big. Your old ass need a colon cleanse, nigga. Go get that shit cleared out, cuz. Intestines full of shit, nigga. You got shit older than me in your motherfucking intestines, nigga. You need to go ahead and clear that shit out, you bum ass nigga. You always talking shit. Always trying to find a way to talk shit about somebody, nigga. Go take care of your health, nigga. Go take care of your health, guys. T-shirt I rock with Berlanga. I'm pulling up at his fight. That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker needs some he need a colon cleanse ASAP. I'm gonna go send a nigga a Dr. Sebi pack real quick. Get that shit all up out your system, nigga. Dirty ass. Berlanga's still out here pushing this. Oh, the hand wraps. It didn't feel like a punch, it felt like an object. Nigga, shut up, nigga. Do I rock with Dan Rayfield? I don't really be paying him any mind. I used to fuck with Max Kellerman, man. I used to fuck with Max Kellerman, but since he been with Inside the Ring, since he been with Ring Magazine, whatever you want to call it, you could tell he reading off the script they picked for him, man. He's still out here acting like these world titles don't mean anything. That the only thing that matters is the Ring Magazine belt. And you ain't never hear Max talk like this till he signed that deal. They must be paying him good, boy. They must be paying him good, cause I can't recall now one time out of all the interviews I saw pre Inside the Ring where this nigga was talking about that. Yeah, he has a world title, but he's not a world champion. Yeah, he has a title, but he's not a world champion. I never heard him say that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Max is disappointing nowadays, but still very knowledgeable. Um, Definitely a legend in the sport of boxing, and he's definitely one of the best. He's one of the greatest, like I guess, boxing reporters. I guess you would call him, whatever you call him. One of the greatest commentators ever. But he definitely sold out. It's probably because ESPN let him go. He was sitting on his ass, unemployed all them years. So he like, man, next time I get a bag, I'm gonna follow the script, bro. Being myself don't do nothing but get me fired. You know what I'm saying? Boots on first take would be good. Man, like ESPN don't give a fuck about boxing. I'm gonna just keep that shit real. Like Stephen A and all of them ain't no educated brothers on that sports network when it come to boxing. They all casuals. You could tell they do the bare minimum with research and then come back and ask these casual ass questions. ESPN never really cared for boxing, bro. Never. They had Stephen A. Smith talking boxing. I'm like, bro, this is disgusting, bro. Like boxing need to be taken more serious. Like boxing always is always looked at as a joke, man. Let's see. Let me see. T Bud, he said, man, they let King Austrian get away with everything in boxing. He should have been banned from the sport with all the crash out of racist antics. No way he should be able to talk shit about George Floyd. Well, they don't give a fuck about us, bro, because the ones that's in power, the ones that's in charge, they don't care about black issues because they're not black. You feel me? And then a lot of these dudes that are black, you know what I mean, they don't mind getting insulted. You know what I mean? Listen, a lot of these dudes would be as long as they still getting that motherfucking bag, as long as they still getting that motherfucking bag, they'll tolerate disrespect. You know what I mean? That's just how some of these guys is. They sellouts. I remember Tim Bradley, and I was critical of him. He was like, y'all he said the N-word, so what, man? Y'all letting these dudes y'all be giving these dudes too much power, blah, blah. So that word has no significance to you or your ancestors. At what with all your ancestors done been through, you mean to tell me that word has no significance to you? That's not a derogatory remark. That was used to, berate your people. You think that word means nothing? Did that mean do you think that word meant nothing when they was belittling your people and terrorizing your people, raping your people, demoralizing your people, humiliating your people? You think that word don't mean anything? Man, fuck out of here. And I ain't even a woke bull. Like I ain't one of them woke niggas nature, but like, bro, it's common sense to me. How you gonna sit here and act like that word don't got no power when it's been plaguing the black community? That's why white people quick to call us that shit, because they know that the history of that word comes from a very dark place that has fucked us over and is still affecting us to this day. And then you had goofy ass showbiz, when they was trying to see exactly how he felt about the situation. He was like, "Oh man, I don't care. I'm not a nigga. I ain't a nigga." Like one of them OJ ass niggas. I ain't black. I'm OJ. Like niggas get in a certain fucking position and think that, you know what I mean, they just shit don't apply to them. Y'all niggas is hoes. Y'all don't stand for shit. Y'all niggas is weird. Like I said, and I've been saying this shit. There's no way. There's no way I'm gonna conform to some bullshit ass system just to get a couple dollars, bro. I will stay with this small channel the rest of my life as long as I could be myself. That is a fucking fair exchange to me. If I blow up off of this shit, cool. If I don't, that's also cool. You feel me? Like y'all niggas could keep all the fame, y'all niggas could keep all the network deals and all of that. Bro, I'm gonna be myself all the time and I'm gonna hold niggas accountable. And if I gotta create my own platform or build my own network so I could be my fucking self, then so be it. I don't give a fuck, bro. Y'all niggas not about to give me a couple dollars and then try to get me to push some shit that I don't believe in. Y'all niggas got me fucked up. I done been in this game too long to have niggas try to tell me how to move in this shit. Fuck out of here. But anyways, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and show love as always. If y'all can go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'd be very much appreciated. I'll be back at y'all with another live between 10:30 to 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow to continue cooking up on what's going on in the sport of boxing. Until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.